Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. Now we know that the World Cup's going on, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things to talk about when it comes to Arsenal, especially when your star boy, your best player, at least one of them, is scoring braces for England in his first ever World Cup appearance. This is going to be, 45 minutes of just waxing lyrical about Bukayo Saka, isn't it? But Curtis, welcome to the show. First time as well, we're doing a live show together in a long time. Yeah. I'm excited for this one.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you much since Orlando, so yeah, good to do a show.
Do you know, I was thinking that because you were doing your shows with Laurie on my day off, I believe. Yeah. So we weren't really seeing each other as much. Yeah. But how's everything with you?
Yeah, good, man. And while you mentioned Laurie, I just want to say, get well soon. Obviously, still in hospital recovering, so thoughts obviously out to him.
Absolutely.
And yeah, man, everything's good. And then, like you said today, Saka, the price just went up, man. I hope that contract's already been signed, because his agent might be making a phone call.
Who's the price gone up for? Potential buyers who are looking at him, or us trying to agree a salary?
Yeah, the value just in general, don't it? If that contract's not signed, I mean, we're going to talk about it anyway, but the better he does in this World Cup, he just becomes a bigger player, don't he, in every sense?
Yeah, he does. And I saw something Robbie said during the DR watch-along. Guys, they are covering everything on DR Sports. No, we're not telling you to go there. You stay here with us. But after we're done, you go over and check out DR Sports, who are covering every single World Cup game. And Robbie was saying on the watch-along, I believe you were on as well, this is why the World Cup can be a great thing. I was talking about how the World Cup can be a massive problem for Arsenal and other teams. But Bukayo Saka, okay, he has had a lightning start to this World Cup. Yeah. And I had no doubt he would. If he maintains this or somewhere near this level, he's only going to come back to Arsenal more confident.
Yeah. I mean, you look at how many players they were good players, but they've kind of used the World Cup to take them to that next level. You think about, I don't know, Wayne Rooney back in the day for England, Michael Owen. If Saka, I mean, if I'm Saka now, I'm sitting in that hotel room thinking, I could win the Golden Boot here. You know what I mean? It's not always a striker who wins it.
Yeah.
Got 2 goals in the first game. Usually 5-6 goals can win you the Golden Boot, really. Yeah. So
I think Kane won it with 5 last time.
5 goals.
And he didn't. And I think at the Euros he was top scorer, second top scorer, but he didn't score in the first couple games either.
I think it did. Patrick Schick won it. I think
Patrick Schick did win it.
5-6 goals again. So listen, I think this tournament can be brilliant for Saka. Obviously, as Arsenal fans, every time someone fouls him, we hold our breath a little bit. Please just get up. But as long as he's fine, I think the World Cup can give a massive confidence boost to a lot of our players.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to become a problem, as everyone's making out like it is. But that first goal, I know we're going to go into more detail, but the first one, just wow.
Yeah.
What a finish.
We have got the Senegal-Holland game on in the background.
Yeah.
0-0, both teams having their moments, but you wouldn't say, well, from what I've seen, that one's sort of dominating more than the other necessarily. So we'll keep you updated, and any goals, we'll kind of react to them. But yeah, let's talk about his goals. And actually, I felt Saka had started the game pretty well, some nice touches. I don't think he was doing anything overly expansive. I think it was a case of probably good advice, whether it was him to himself or people around him saying, listen, just go out there, relax, do the simple things right. Yeah. He wasn't exactly taking on fullbacks, from the first minute, but he was just looking after the ball, nice touches, some nice passes. But then that first goal, I think it's just one of those where it falls to you and you think, you've played the game, when it falls nicely and you go, on the volley, I've got to strike
this. Yeah. I think you've got to remember as well, he's played with Ben White all season. I can't imagine he's ever played with Trippier, really. It would have probably been Walker or James.
Yeah.
So he's finding his feet, and Iran were quite physical. They were kicking people.
They were.
And I just think, like you said, that moment just lifted him. Once you hit that and see that go in, it's like, wow, give me the ball. Keep giving me the ball. And I was actually disappointed in the end he got taken off, because I thought the hat-trick was there for him, and Rashford scored the third goal on that side.
Very good.
He looked very good when he came on as well, but there was a lot of talk. I saw pundits this morning saying Foden should be playing ahead of him. My argument was I think both of them should be in the team. And I think he's cementing himself on that right-hand side for England.
Yeah. Mount, I thought, did really well, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Sterling scored a good goal and played well. So it's one of those where actually the three behind Kane, I think, have put in minimum 7, 8 out of 10 performances.
Yeah.
And Foden's going to have to work even hard to get his place back.
I mean, that's a good thing. We were saying, I think England made, was it a triple change or 4 players came on, and you're thinking Rashford, Foden, and I think Grealish came on as a triple change, and Dyer, well, But those 3 in particular, I'm thinking that's like £200 million worth of players there, easily coming off the bench. So the strength in depth what England have got, and I was saying this on the watch along, everyone's quite down about England. Oh, they got no chance, blah blah blah. I think they've got a chance of going far in this competition. Some of the players they've got, that front 3 is exciting as most teams in this competition. The defence, they conceded 2, could have conceded 3. I think if you are Brazil, Argentina, France, and you're playing England, you're thinking you can get at them, but they can get at you as well. So
I agree. Watching that game and watching Saka in particular in his role, it's clear that we've seen the modern manager go and evolve to kind of these inverted fullbacks tucking inside, whether it's a back 4 that becomes a back 3, whether it's you got as a left back like Zinchenko basically plays in midfield and all that. So we've seen a lot of football move that way, even the way Ten Hag uses Dalot at times. But Southgate's very much gone to, I guess you'd call it more what Klopp does, but even Klopp's not quite this rigid. But it's essentially your fullbacks are getting forward and stretching the pitch. And Sterling was popping up everywhere. Saka was coming incredibly central. Mount was breaking the lines and beyond. But what I'm trying to point out is Saka coming very in field, allowing Trippier to overlap, which is very different to what him and White do, where yes, White can overlap, but it's more from like a central run, like he's in a more central position, and he'll swing all the way around him because Saka has held the width and then dragged the defender in field. It's interesting how he's had to very quickly adapt to a very different role on that right hand side.
I think that'll actually help him. Ben White, look, he's been fantastic this season. I think if you're playing out wide, I want my fullback running around me, just to pull that fullback out of the way, maybe leave me one-on-one. I thought Saka isolated them a lot today and got one-on-one, and that's where, the second goal he scored came from. So I think Trippier played well with him, to be honest, and he's got very good.
I like Trippier a lot. He's really changed my mind since. I mean, of course, he went to Atletico Madrid. And he had the time, and he's now doing very well at Newcastle. But it ended so badly with him and Spurs. Just in terms of his form, and you felt, how long was he? He was their starting right back for maybe a couple years after Kyle Walker left. But he now looks. It's almost like all the experience mixed with the talent he had, and now you've got kind of his best years. I remember going to a game. I think Arsenal, we beat Tottenham. I think we beat them 2-0 at the Emirates. I think Mustafi scored a header, and I was sitting in the North Bank, and I remember Alexis was ripping Trippier to bits, and I was thinking, I don't rate this guy at all. He then gets that move to Atletico, and I think, who better to learn how to defend from than Simeone in that Atletico? And he's come back. I think he's so much better now. Technically better. His deliveries, his set pieces, defensively has improved. It'd be interesting what happens when Kyle Walker's back, because they reckon next week he'll be fit. And does he get straight back in or not? Trent doesn't seem to be able to get in. It feels more to me like we might see that back 3 creep in for the knockouts, and then who loses his place, because Mount, Sterling, Saka, I don't know. I mean, Saka can play as that one, like a slightly more central forward, in terms of a number 10 who kind of plays out wide a little bit. Was that a chance there for Van Dijk? He just got up a little bit too early, didn't he? But it would be interesting what they do there. I mean, I think if he's going to play a back 3, Ben White's the obvious call, but
I mean, I suppose it depends what Maguire was. Was that concussion? People saying online it looked like he was ill.
I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think caused the Maguire injury. I haven't actually looked back to see what was said, but I thought he played quite well, actually, Maguire. I thought he was good. I mean, it's a tough one with Maguire. We was debating this on the stream as well, because everyone's saying, no, he shouldn't even be in the squad. Robbie was saying, we're like, the problem is Southgate trusts him. And I think he got in team of the tournament for the Euros. I think he did.
And he was in the team that got to the World Cup semi-final. So as bad as he is for Man United. For England, he's never really let them down. Maybe the Nations League, but
good penalty taker as well.
Good penalty taker. He scores headers from corners as well.
Yeah, could have had a 1 or 2 today.
Could have had 1 or 2. So I'm not sure there's an England centre-back that's done enough to displace him. Maybe Tomori would sit there and say, I've won Serie A, I should have. Ben White's played at right back. I think that's probably worked against him. But I thought he did well. Like we're saying, I think the issue will be Iran just sat back today. So he was able to push up to the halfway line. There was no real problem. If you do that against Brazil and you've got Vinicius running in behind or Mbappe for France, you know, I still think that England back four can be got at, and that's why I agree. I think Southgate will probably revert to the 5.
Yeah. Dex says he was having a migraine attack, which gives you blurred vision. Listen, I've had migraines before, and that blurred vision's horrible. Doesn't... Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard anything on that, so I'll have a little look. But
because he kept holding his head, and I was thinking it didn't look like there was a clash. And people saying
migraines can be very, like, you get a bit of blurry vision, but then it's a very sharp, piercing headache. So maybe it's that. It's a very interesting question from Hal. Asks, would you say Saka is world class?
I don't think so yet.
I don't think so yet.
I think the potential's there. I think to be called world class, your CV has to have work on it. You know, a lot of work there. He hasn't. I don't think he hasn't played in the Champions League, has it? No, he hasn't played in the Champions League. No, I wouldn't say so yet. But it doesn't take long for that opinion to change. Go and win a Golden Boot, and you know.
That's quickly. The thing. But it's also like go win a Golden Boot at the World Cup, or even just be a starter in a World Cup winning team.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not saying that's easy to do. It's obviously not, but you know, you do that, and that can go your way sometimes. Not saying I want this at all, but if say Real Madrid pick you up or Barcelona, suddenly you're instantly world class. Like sometimes it's just those little things on the CV that actually can just dress it up, even though you're still playing at the same level. So I know what you mean. But look, he's got his second goal. He was class, and you can see the confidence in him as well from that point. Fouled a lot as well today, as he always is. Again, having played the game, talk to me about that second goal, because the one thing that I always find fun, I know he's got a good right foot, Saka. And I've played the game at a level nowhere near you, or certainly nowhere near Saka. But what is it when you're a defender and you know his favoured foot's that one?
Yeah.
And he's feinted and he's coming inside. And he's feinting again. And then on the third feint or whatever, he eventually hits it. Maybe a little bit of luck with the deflection. But it's like, you know what he's going to do. But the best don't care and they pull it off anyway.
Yeah, it's all timing.
Right.
You know, it's like Messi, isn't it? You know, he played on the right. Every time he cuts on the left, you know what he's going to do, but you can't stop it. Even today with that second Saka goal, I'll be honest, I was on the watch-along going, shoot, and then he delayed it.
Yeah.
And then the defender sold himself, and then he went again, and then he finished it. It's all timing, and I've said at times I think Saka maybe needs to use the right foot a little bit more. Sometimes try and run down the line and just cross it, because I actually think he's got a decent right foot.
He's racked up a lot of goals and assists with his right foot.
Yeah, but it's that timing. There's something about left-footed players as well. There's just something different about them. It's like, you know, left-handed batsmen in cricket. Like it just looks a little bit more elegant.
Yeah.
And the way they kind of move over the years, Robben, Bale, Mahrez, Messi, they all do it. It's just that timing of when to move. If you're the fullback, you might be thinking, right, he's going now. Hasn't gone, then you delay it, then he goes, and then the shot's off. It's just those little touches, little movements that I think is very good.
It's just a real show of quality. And while it's AFTV, and I've got no intention of praising Harry Kane, I do think I think there's an example of it in the Sterling goal where Kane went to go round him but couldn't, kind of feinted, and then eventually took it around and whipped the ball in. It's like, you knew there was only one way who's going to get it to Sterling, but his feet were quick enough and his speed of thought was better than the defenders, and he managed to put it on a plate for Sterling. And Saka's got that trait. And listen, while you know we don't like him because he's a Tottenham player, he's certainly reached a level that is one that Saka will take inspiration from, let's say.
Yeah, definitely, and even hopefully go beyond it, because
you'd hope
that one thing with Kane, everyone will say, well, no trophies in the cabinet, you know, maybe an Audi Cup or something.
Has Saka won a trophy? Because obviously he didn't play the FA Cup final, but he did play in the quarterfinals, a big part in that, and in the build-up round. So he must have an FA Cup win as well. So he's an FA Cup winner.
Yeah. So he's won more than Kane already.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Look at that. Make sure to remind him, Bukayo.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but it was classy, and it's 2 goals. I mean, 2 goals in a World Cup.
Your first ever World Cup. Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people were saying afterwards, it's only Iran, but if we watched Brazil play Iran and they beat them 6-2 and Neymar scored 2, we'd be going, oh my God, he's going to rip this World Cup to bits. So I think you have to give England the credit they deserve, because I thought some of the football they played was brilliant as well.
Yeah, I
One
thought so
touch
too.
football. You would expect them to get better as the tournament goes on as well. And with Saka, I mean, he must just be thinking, no, I can't wait for that next game. America next. And listen, I think he can win the Golden Boot. If he can get another 2 goals in these next 2 games, if you get out that group with 4 goals already and 5 or 6 tens to win you the Golden Boot, I think he's got a chance of going for it. So
why not?
Let's
Let us
not?
know in the comment section. Saka the GOAT, says Mogamad. MH Play says, so Harry Kane isn't world class. He has won nothing. I think they've taken your point too literally.
Yeah. I'm not saying.
While, again, it brings me no pleasure whatsoever to list off what he's achieved. When you look at the goal tallies, the records, the people he's chasing down, and the goals at major tournaments, of course you're inclined to say there's much more of an argument there. Saka's mentality is exceptional, says D3 Cav.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And one of the things I said on my channel when I was kind of just giving a brief review of Saka, why we love him so much, is I think there's this admiration. Not only do we love him, like I saw Clive tweet that why do we feel so parental, and he's right. It's not just that, but I think it's also like this admiration. And what I mean is, he breaks into the side and he's playing left back when he's not a left back at 18. And it's like, well, can you be one of our better players and helps out in that role, steps up to it? Well, can you be a Premier League regular, steps up to it? Oh, actually, we're chasing for the top 4. Are you able to be one of our key players in that? He absolutely does it. And now in a team that's chasing their title, goes to a Euros that a lot of people didn't expect him to be in the squad for.
Yeah.
Ends up playing games, ends up playing really well in those games. And now the World Cup, every single time the bar's been raised for Saka, he's got there. And that is what I think is so... Because I don't think he's a flawless footballer. You don't look at him and go, this guy's, when you saw Mbappe, for example, the 2018 World Cup, and there was just something like, how is he ever going to get better than this?
Yeah,
I can see where Saka can still improve.
Yeah.
But he's still playing at an exceptional level. The fact that you look at him and still think he can improve is even more compliment to him.
I think it's spot on. I think, like you said, with Saka, every hurdle that's been put in front of him, he's overcome it. He came into the Arsenal team. We were like, what's his best position? He was playing left back, then left wing, then right wing.
10 once.
10 every position, he's embraced it. Then some of the big boys left, Ozil, Aubameyang. If you're a young player, you're looking up to them, you want to learn. All of a sudden, they've gone. Responsibility's on your shoulders. He's taken that. Player of the Year 2 years in a row. Gone to the Euros, got himself in the team. He's had the adversity then. You've missed a penalty. That could have really damaged him and all the stuff and the abuse he got afterwards. He then comes back to Arsenal, picks the ball up, says, I'll take the penalties. And he scored every penalty since.
So true.
He now goes to the World Cup, and is he going to start? Foden might play ahead of him. First game, 2 goals, man of the match. His mentality is second to none, in my opinion. Yeah, I would say he's mature beyond his years, Saka.
Yeah, I agree. Saka has that quality. He's only getting better, James, for us. Yeah, Shaqs, I completely agree. Big up Curtis and James. Thank you, Patrick. Don't forget to check out Curtis' channel as well. Always, it's just Curtis Shaw, right? Shaw TV.
Yeah.
Go check it out, guys. Tommy's asking about the offside yesterday in the Ecuador game. In fairness, I think they're deploying this new technology, and it was a good spot. Because what they noticed was that there were 2 players behind the goalkeeper, which I thought was quite hard to see in that first shot, that first angle I saw. The ball's gone long, I believe. The keeper's come out. There's 2 Ecuador players, and one has headed it onto another whose foot was offside. So, great spot in the end. But I'd love to see that technology kind of working live, if that makes sense. You know how you can see them drawing the lines? I'd quite like to see their version of that technology being implemented, because it does look like it could be the answer, or a better answer.
Well, it can't be worse than the way we're using it in the Premier League. It's a shambles.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was decent, because at the first I was like, what? That's not offside. And then I saw this little cartoon come up.
Yeah.
And his hand was off, and I was like, fair enough, you know. And it worked. I felt it was pretty quick compared to the Premier League as well.
MH Play says the most important thing now for Arsenal is Saka to sign the new contract. You know, I had Goon Lee in here the other day, and we were asking the question, who's the priority out of Martinelli, Saliba, Saka? Now, that's not to say that we love one more than the other, or that one's better than the other. It's not about that. But the way I was phrasing it and positioning it is, the priority almost it feeds into how likely are they to leave. Do you think they're comfortable where they are? How long left on their contract? All these things. So is there one that stands out for you as we've got to get this one done over maybe the others?
I mean, we've got to get all of them. But for me, the one that I feel a bit uncomfortable about is Saliba.
Yeah, I do agree with you.
Because one, deep down, I think, number one, does he feel like Arsenal mistreated him earlier on in his career? You know, did he agree with those loan moves all the time?
He said a few things recently to suggest. I mean, listen, when you're playing this well and everything, it's very easy to
Everything's
go,
good.
well, it's all helped. You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I'd like to take his word for it. But, carry on. Sorry.
I've always felt with Saka, everything that we've been hearing here, and, you know, a few people here, a few whispers, and they reckon that Saka's pretty much signed the deal.
Right.
And I've never felt like Saka was going to leave. Martinelli, I think, is all right. I think his contract's a bit longer than the other two. I think he has a little bit more time on it.
I think so.
I think he has an option to go a bit longer. But Saliba is the one with me. You just think, while he's away with that French team, centre-back area is not the strongest in world football. If you're a Madrid, a PSG, a Barcelona, you'd think if he has a good World Cup, they'd be looking at him. So Saliba's the one that probably kind of I feel the most uneasy about. I think the other two will sign.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So I'm just scrolling through Twitter to get updates about it all. But I'm with you on Saliba being the one I'm the most anxious about.
Yeah.
But I still have a confidence he will sign.
Yeah.
What I've just stumbled across as well is, of course, that Pickford save from the game. Look, I want Ramsdale starting. I think he deserves to start. But this is a great save from Pickford. I don't know if you've... Yeah.
I mean, listen, we were again. This is something I was saying on the stream on DR. It's difficult because I think international managers, they separate sometimes club and country. Pickford has not been as good as Ramsdale this season in the Premier League, but Pickford has never really let England down in the tournament. And I actually don't rate Pickford for Everton. I think he's a dodgy goalkeeper. But the manager trusts him. It's important, the relationship between the back four and the goalkeeper as well, and Pickford apparently communicates very well with them. It's just, Southgate likes to go with who he can trust. What you don't want to do is go into a tournament and try and build relationships during a tournament. If things go wrong, it's that uncertainty. He didn't speak, I don't know how he plays. So he's just stuck with what he's got. So yeah, I think Ramsdale's a better goalkeeper than Pickford, but I do actually agree with Pickford playing ahead of him.
Fair enough. Senegal, Netherlands, 0-0, 67 minutes. Just about to hit any second now. And both have had their moments. I think I just saw Senegal and the Dutch both having an effort there. It's been a little bit of a cagey game after the first half starting quite quickly. Not a lot. I don't know. I mean, every time I look up, it doesn't feel like we're missing a load of chances. Someone in the comments saying Holland might lose this. Kind of your feelings about both teams at this World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, Holland, I kind of thought Holland were going to be dangerous. But then seeing that
we saw the 11.
We saw the 11. I'm like, Janssen, the guy who played for Tottenham about 7-8 years ago. I'm like,
mad,
the goalkeeper apparently nearly quit football 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Is that Stecklenburg?
No, it's not. I don't know who the other two are, but he's not playing in goal. So yeah, the Dutch, and I think Blint's playing like wing back.
Yeah.
I mean, Simmons, is it, who played against Arsenal? He was amazing for PSV.
Yeah.
He's on the bench.
Depay's on the bench.
Depay on the bench. I think he had a knot. And then obviously with Senegal losing Sadio Mane is a huge blow for them. He's obviously their best player. So
Andres Nopper, the goalkeeper. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I hadn't heard of him personally myself. But other keepers on the bench, Pazvir, Justin Byler I'd heard of through Football Manager. One of the names I find quite interesting is Memphis Depay, because comes to United, struggles, having been very good at Lyon, goes back to Lyon, rediscovers his best form, gets a free transfer to Barcelona. Hasn't really happened from there, but then Barcelona fans, when who watches La Liga, more regularly, will be able to tell me. But the impression I get is he's not exactly been bad.
Yeah.
And now he could be available again. He's been linked with Arsenal. Is that a deal you what's the word? Entertain?
Do you know what? I would. I saw a report today saying that Barcelona might let him go for 5 million.
Is that how low? 5 million?
He's out of contract in the summer.
Right.
So they just want to recoup something for him.
How short these contracts?
It's crazy. I think he only signed for 2 years.
Wow.
I know we was talking the other day, obviously people were talking about Ronaldo and that, but I think this deal makes more sense. I definitely think we need a striker. I don't think Arteta is necessarily looking for one. I just think that gap between Jesus and Nketiah is too big. If Jesus was to come out now, I don't expect Arsenal to spend huge money in January.
Sure.
I think we are close to that line of financial fair play. We've spent big and we've sold small, so there has to be an imbalance somewhere. For £5 million, a Dutch international from Barcelona, he's 27, 28, vice captain for Holland. He'll have a point to prove as well. He came to the Premier League, didn't work, left with his tail between his legs a bit. Gone to Barcelona. Listen, I think he would be a good option.
If Depay is the player I think he is, and what I mean by that is the best glimpses I saw at Man United, mixed with the best glimpses I've seen on YouTube, mixed with the kind of player he looks to me, attributes-wise, he looks to me like exactly what the modern forward has become. Can play wide, has got very good low central gravity strength, can shoot, can pass, can do a little bit of everything. And you mix that with his experience, and the potential fee it would be. I don't see, again, if he is that player that I think in my mind he is. Look, other people might be in the comments, let us know. You might be in the comments saying, someone here's put Depay only cares for Depay, no thanks, says Patrick. Okay, I can't comment on that, but fair enough. NVR says Depay has washed all his Barca goals at pens. Look, if he's past it and he's not been at his best for a while, and maybe this has something to do with his personality that doesn't fit, then fine. I don't know about that. But what I can say is if he's the player that I think he is or can be, then I think he's actually exactly the type of player we should be looking for that front line, which is a bit more experience than the one we have, has done it in Europe, can play across the three positions, and it's just a little bit unpredictable. Can score goals from distance, can score with his head, can score with his feet, that kind of thing. So I would be interested in that, and I'm not so surprised those rumours popped up.
I look at it like this. I've said before I would have liked someone like Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
Obviously he's got these issues going off, but Ivan Toney would cost 50 million plus. And with Jesus being the main man right now, Arsenal are not going to want to spend big on a second striker. No. So you're not going to get a better striker for £5 million than Memphis Depay, let's be honest. And I think, because I know a guy that used to coach at Man United when Depay was there, and he said he has this kind of, like, people from the outside think he's egotistical, he's selfish, and you see him in hip-hop videos, he's rapping, and he likes to flash cars. But he was saying, like, this guy has got a very good attitude, he works hard when he's on the training ground. He said, outside he's a flashy guy. But that doesn't mean you can't be a top player. Aubameyang was very flashy for a long time, but he performed highly. So I just think that's a bit of a no-brainer.
Senegal have just had a good chance, saved by the keeper there.
He's offside.
And who was offside? Was it the player in the build-up, or was it the one chasing that effort? But that was a nice move. Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay, the guy in front.
The guy in front. Yeah. So if he'd gone in, it might have been disallowed. Oh, he's kind of shanked it slightly, hasn't he? Yeah. I'm completely with you. What you do off the field, within reason, I don't really care about. As long as you're working hard, you've got the attitude Arteta wants, and you're delivering on the pitch. Depay just, I don't know, just looks like, let me put it this way, you're right, Jesus has been the man recently. Even without the goals, he feels like he's the man. Even without scoring against Wolves, and that being the last ball Arsenal kicked, it still felt like we got over the line because of his bit of magic and what he brings to this team. Could you rest Martinelli, start Depay, and Jesus and Saka keep their place? Could you rest Jesus and Depay gets those minutes with Martinelli, Saka either side, or Martinelli in the right? The point is you can mix and play around with it and tweak it in a way that allows everyone to get the right amount of rest without thinking, this guy's come in and he's taking my place.
Yeah.
I think that's what Liverpool did so well with Luis Diaz, is that he can play up front or on the right, but you've also got other players like Mane and Jota who are comfortable to move around the pitch. Firmino dropping into the 10 to allow for Diaz to slot in without anyone thinking, my place has been taken from me. Darwin Núñez can even play off the left. I think that's where Liverpool got their recruitment in terms of adding to that forward line spot on. It's having players that can do those multiple things. And I like Ivan Toney a lot. I actually do rate him really highly. But that is the one reason, unless it was like his contract was running out, we can get for 10, 15 mil. I just wouldn't think the money's worth it, because somewhere you're basically cementing that spot as that player.
And that's the only position. He can't play left and right.
No.
A lot of the time I've said I like Zaha, but I just, with him, he's just turned 30. He is out of contract in the summer. Would be
Can do what I was
interesting
saying though about the front three.
And that's the thing. So for me, I agree with you. Him and Depay, the fact they can go left, go right, can play sort of false nine as well. It gives us a lot of options if we brought someone like that in. And look, I think January is a bit of a bargain hunt for Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal are going to go and spend 100 million.
Do you know? I think there'll be like one £30 million deal in there.
Maybe one.
And then if we can, like a loan or a cheap option.
Yeah. I mean, look, you could potentially get Tielemans out of contract in 6 months, Zaha out of contract. They were talking about this Mudryk. I think that'll be more of a summer move because of the cost. But let's just say, for example, Arsenal said we want an attacker that's versatile and we want a midfielder. If you was to get Tielemans for maybe 20 million with 6 months and you get Depay for 5 million, I think that improves the team and the squad, and you also haven't spent that much money.
I agree.
So yeah, Depay for me would be for 5 million. I would take a chance.
It would also bring much needed experience. You know, it's not to say that Tielemans, I think himself, is only 25, 26 maybe. Depay, I think, is 27 maybe. So it's not like you're bringing in players who have been there and done that and won the league, but they're players who have played at a very high level. You know, multiple international tournaments between them. Games, you know, from multiple clubs as well, high-level clubs with high expectations. Tielemans in the Premier League, we know, has won an FA Cup, has been chasing Champions League football, and has been a really, really great player in some great games of performance. So, you know, they would kind of make sense. Trossard is available, says the dude XDD. And another one, I guess, he's not quite as, I don't think he's quite as penetrative as a runner in terms of a pure pacey winger, but he can run, no doubt, and he can play across that front three as well.
I like Trossard. He's having a good season. I think he's got 6 months left, but they've got a 1 year option. So I don't think Brighton would maybe let him go until the summer. I don't think there's a reason for them to sell him.
Well, if they got the 1 year option, then that makes it a bit tricky.
He is a good player.
Let's go through some of your comments, guys, and we'll round it off there. Senegal, Netherlands, still 0-0. They both look like a few efforts from distance are starting to creep in, and just a slightly more desperate football, if you know what I mean. Just sort of, let's try hit the target and hope something goes in. This is a big opportunity for both, because with Ecuador winning, opportunity isn't the word. Opportunity is the word. This is a slightly pressurised game, because with Ecuador winning, there might be a sense of, if we get the one up on the other, we're in a good position immediately. So it'll be interesting. I've been a little bit disappointed with Netherlands, I have to say.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have... I mean, it's early in the tournament, but that team selection, it's a bit rigid, isn't it? I thought we'd see, like, Gakpo, Depay, Simmons. I thought they'd be lively. And
that could have been a really good front three.
Good front three, you know.
And then in midfield, Berghaus, I like, the one who plays at Ajax. You've got De Jong, so I don't really know who else would play with them. But you're right. It's a strange one. All right, let's go through some of your comments. I read the one about Trossard. Depay is the same one who flopped in the league before. Nah, says Jules. Well, fair enough. NVR says Depay's been injured, so that might be why. I think you might have said that, to be fair. That's why he wasn't playing today. Get Tielemans, says Patrick. There was a question, it came up on another show, but as there are two different people, I'll ask it again. Would you take Ronaldo?
I mean, I don't think it's doable for Arsenal, if I'm honest. I think he's got too much baggage. I think he's got too much. Number one, wherever he goes after Man United, he wants to start. That's why he's kicking up a fuss at United. I don't think Arteta could guarantee that he starts. I think one of the best things about us has been the energy of the front three. He's not going to give you that.
The interchangeability.
Yeah, he can't give you that.
Ethic.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm like everyone else. I can see the fairy tale. You bring Ronaldo to Arsenal and we win the title and he gets 10 to 12 goals.
Revenge for
Van Persie. I would love to sign Ronaldo if that was the case, but I just don't think it works for Arsenal.
If he came in for 6 months and like, would there be a part of him that goes, I will genuinely give my all to win one more Premier League? Like, listen, I'm now adding to the fantasy, but I'll be really honest. I don't want him. I don't. I just think Josh made a good point behind the scenes. He said everything that Arsenal fans are saying now is what United fans were saying at the time to justify it. Yeah, but we just finished second. He'll get us over the line. Yeah. He's the one that's just going to make the difference. He's going to be that experience. He doesn't have to play every game. Yeah. No, he does. He wants to. He wants to score goals. And I think what he brings to a footballer is a pure goal scorer. And I'm not taking away from how brilliant he is at putting the ball in the back of the net. But football really has evolved, or certainly this Arsenal team has evolved. Jesus hasn't scored for 9 games, and he's having a much better season than other players who have probably scored more goals than him this season because of everything he's giving to the team and everything he's doing. That's knitting it all together. Firmino won a title and got to Champions League finals, not being a real goal scorer for Liverpool, but being the one that knit it all together in the final third. So, you know, they wouldn't have traded Firmino back then for Ronaldo. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, there is a part of me that's like,
I get it.
I like, it's one of them where if you're Edu, you know, you could have a conversation.
And pick up the phone.
You could just ring George Mendes, say, you know, because like you said, Ronaldo's so like hungry for a trophy. You could say, look, Ronnie, you can come to Arsenal and get us over the finish line. We stop Man City winning it. United would be really, you know, annoyed. And then in the summer you go and do what you want. But I think the number one circumstances for him will be wherever I go, I've got to start. And I just don't think Arsenal can guarantee him that. So
no,
yeah, unfortunately, I don't think.
But also, one of the things I really love about this team is is how genuine they are. Like, it's a very genuine, hard-working, down-to-earth team. They're growing together, and it would disrupt the imbalance. And either way, whether it's to work or not, it's for a short-term gain. Now, that's not me. If you said to me right now, you know, no Ronaldo and see how things go over the next 5-6 years, or Ronaldo and you're going to win the Premier League, of course I'm choosing Ronaldo, because Premier Leagues are so difficult. You know, you want that Prem, but I just don't think he does go. He's not a guarantee.
Do you know, 12 months ago, I would have signed him because, you know, like Aubameyang's just gone. You've only got Lacazette and Nketiah. I would have been like, get him in. I would have taken the chance then. But I just think, what are you doing to Gabriel Jesus by signing Ronaldo, who's probably would leave in 6 months anyway, doesn't really care about the club? You've got to put chances on a plate for him, really.
Or even, the beauty of Ronaldo is that he doesn't even need it on a plate, and he will put it in the back of the net. I think of those goals against Atalanta, for example. Yeah,
but just half chances.
But but still, you need to get to a point at which I always felt a lot of, maybe this is wrong, guys. You know, United fans will know better, but I sometimes feel his goals would come as well. United were most desperate, for example. You know, it's kind of balls into the box. It's let's try. You know, we're 2-0 down here at home in the Champions League, whatever. So look, I just ultimately think he would take far more from this team than he would offer. That's just my personal opinion. Gareth says apparently Ronaldo is bulletproof.
That's what he said, didn't he? He said in the interview.
Was that what he said?
Yeah.
Really?
He said, stop asking other players about me and ask me about me. And he said something about he's bulletproof or something. People are always shooting at him.
Listen, I've done my reaction to his interview on my channel.
Yeah, I spoke about it as well.
Yeah, I didn't agree with a lot of that interview, but is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big Curtis, when you going on the Big Six for an appearance?
Hey,
I'm sure that'll
Turkish, but
it'll make that happen.
Yeah, we'll make that happen, 100%.
You guys have spoken about it.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
It'll happen. What else have we got? People in the comments saying Gakpo has scored.
Wow.
Let's have a little look here because we've got it. Slight delay. Let's have a look if this is the moment. If you're all trolling us, you're going to make me miss my train for the sake of trolling. Is this it? Oh, no. Is this it?
Let's see. Arsenal target as well, isn't he?
He is. Would you take him? I like him.
Do you like him?
I like the. Oh, yes,
Great
he
header.
scored. Good header.
That's good.
Live reaction on AFTV.
Yeah. That's good from the comments, by the way. Big up the comments. He's tall, isn't he, for a winger?
6'2".
Do you know what? I watched that first game at the Emirates. I was like, oh, this guy looks trash, man. I don't want nothing to do.
I've got to say, he didn't look good at the Emirates.
And then I watched the second leg. I'm like, oh, he's dangerous. Yeah. He looks to me like he looks too tall. Like he looks so tall that I think he'll become a striker.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a strike. Even that goal there, the run across, a little flick. I like him. I like that Simmons as well. I know it was a one-off game against us, but yeah, man.
Senegal might feel a bit hard done by there because
let's
have a little look.
Had some chances as well.
Is that Depay on the pitch?
Oh yeah,
was that Bergwijn?
I think he has come on, but no, Bergwijn come off.
Oh sorry, yeah, no, it is Depay.
Look at the run from Depay, get him to Arsenal.
That is.
Goalkeeper's had a nightmare, by the way.
That's
come out.
Get your head on it, and he will go. Yeah, goalkeeper's had a nightmare.
It's a great run.
Oh, Mendy.
Is that Mendy from Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, he's had a mare. You know it's bad when Kepa's playing ahead of you comfortably as well. I thought Mendy was one of the best keepers in the league at one stage. Now he looks shaky, man.
Gakpo's been playing meth the whole game, though.
Oh.
That's what Grumpy Doctor says. Maybe he's saying maybe it could just be the way Netherlands are playing. This final super chat from Jihad says Marcus Thuram from Borussia Mönchengladbach, I can't say it, is a good striker option. 6 months left on his contract. 25, 6'4", second in goals in the Bundesliga with 10. Wow. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, he's been licked a few times, but
he's a free in the summer, isn't he?
Okay, well there you go. Maybe we want to keep an eye on. We will be doing videos and stuff on AFTV, especially during this World Cup period, to look at potential targets. I'm trying to work on a little Football Manager scouting thing where we're going to live scout on the game players by looking at the profile we want, that kind of thing. Ooh, good effort. They're going to need pulled on back. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to miss my train. Curtis, it's been an absolute pleasure. Let everyone know where they can find you as always.
Yeah, they know Curtis Shaw TV. I'm there. Transfer videos, watch-alongs, all of that.
Watch-alongs.
I'll be on. Dot-alongs.
Dot-alongs.
Yeah.
Still the greatest watch-along of all time.
Oh man, yeah, it was interesting. I had to do another one the other week. What was it? Brighton. Yes. That was another dot-along as well.
Yeah.
Find that.
Well, we had a read-along.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I was just eating Twiglets the whole time, talking about the new Pokemon games coming out. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Big thanks to Curtis who's joined us. Thank you to all of you who have joined us as well. We're going to send you straight over for the last 5 minutes of this game to DR Sports, because Senegal, I don't think they deserve to be losing this game, but you can find out they pull one back live on DR Sports. Matita's there, Kelechi, Ty, everyone's there reacting to it. Tej as well. Go have a little look. Belgium. And we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Don't forget, AFTV are still putting content out. We'll be there. Any ideas, any videos you want to see, anything like that, you let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that, and we'll see you next time.